Summer's supposed to be the easy season. So why are so many people quietly Googling a therapist between summer Fridays? Because more daylight doesn't fix the hard stuff. Sometimes it just turns the volume up. Grow does therapy differently. Therapy is not only for when you're in crisis. Grow Therapy is here for all the moments when you decide you want more. More support, more clarity, more tools. Mental health isn't a destination you reach, it's something you build, and Grow makes that easier. Grow connects you with thousands of high-quality licensed therapists across the U.S., offering both virtual and in-person sessions, nights and weekends. You can search by what matters, like insurance, specialty, identity, or availability, and get started in as little as 2 days. There are no subscriptions, no long-term commitments. You just pay per session. Grow helps you find therapy on your time. The therapist you want takes your insurance on Grow. Grow accepts over 125 insurance plans. Sessions average $21 with insurance, and some pay as little as $0 depending on their plan. Visit growtherapy.com/booknow today to get started. That's growtherapy.com/booknow. growtherapy.com/booknow. Availability and coverage vary by state and insurance plan.
That refresh you've been putting off until the right deal came along? It's here! Wayfair's Black Friday and July sale is happening now, so you can finally get the style you've been waiting for less. Get up to 80% off area rugs and up to 60% off outdoor and bedroom furniture. Shop Wayfair's huge selection of styles and find the piece to fit your style, budget, and space. Plus, free shipping. Black Friday in July ends July 27th. Shop today at wayfair.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Picture two people at the same kitchen table. One is talking, the other is nodding, and somehow neither one of them walks away feeling like anything actually happened. Words got said. Nobody raised their voice. And yet an hour later, one of them is still turning the conversation over in their head thinking, that's not what I meant at all. That's the scene we're unpacking today. Here's the truth. Most couples aren't missing love. They're missing a shared process for being heard. Wednesday, we talked about getting clear with yourself first, naming what you're actually feeling, and turning it into one clear sentence instead of a complaint. Today, we're bringing that clarity into the room together because clarity alone doesn't fix a conversation. What you do with it in real time with another person sitting across from you does. So what does being heard as a couple actually require? It requires both people agreeing, even silently, that the goal of the conversation is understanding, not winning. That sounds obvious when I say it out loud, but in the moment, in the middle of a real disagreement, almost every one of us slides into trying to win without noticing we've done it. We start building our case. We start collecting evidence for why we're right. And the second either partner is building a case instead of listening, the conversation stops being a conversation. It becomes two people making closing arguments to a jury that isn't there. I want to say this clearly because it matters. Neither of you is the villain here. You're both carrying inherited patterns, ways of communicating you learned long before you ever met each other. Maybe you learned that raising your voice was the only way to be taken seriously. Maybe your partner learned that going quiet was the only way to stay safe. Neither of those patterns makes either of you a bad partner. They made sense somewhere, at some point, for some younger version of you. That's real, and it deserves compassion. And here's the part I won't soften. It's not an excuse to stay stuck in them either. Unhealed patterns leak into your marriage, whether you name them or not. The couple that never talks about why he shuts down or why she raises her voice will keep having the same fight in different clothes for years. Naming the pattern is how you stop leaking it into every conversation and start actually choosing something different. Let me give you something practical to try together this week as a couple, not just as individuals. When one of you brings something up, something that matters, something with a little heat behind it, the other person's only job for the first 60 seconds is to reflect back what they heard, not respond to it, not defend against it, not fix it, just reflect it. Something as simple as, what I'm hearing you say is you felt alone with this decision and you needed me to check in with you first. That's it. I want to be honest with you about how hard this is because I don't want to oversell it. Every instinct in your body, the second your partner brings up something that touches a nerve, is going to want to explain yourself, to correct a detail, to say, that's not fair. I did try to check in. And all of that might even be true. But the second you jump to defending yourself, your partner stops feeling heard and starts feeling like they have to fight to be believed. 60 seconds of pure reflection before either of you says another word in your own defense. That's one of the hardest things you'll try this month. And it is also one of the fastest ways I know to take the temperature down in a hard conversation. Here's why this works. If you're wondering, when someone feels reflected back accurately, something in their nervous system settles. They're not braced anymore. And a partner who isn't braced can actually hear you when you respond. Because now you're not two people defending positions. You're two people who both know they've been understood, taking turns. This week we started with yourself. On Wednesday, getting honest about what you actually feel and need before you ever open your mouth. Today, we bring it into the room together with a practice you can use the very next time something real comes up between you. Being heard was never about talking louder or longer, and it was never about who's more right. It was about creating enough safety on both sides of the table that the truth could actually land instead of bouncing off. If this week's conversation stirs something in your relationship, Marriage Mastery Foundations was built to take you from this one skill into a full guided path forward together. It walks you both through this kind of practice step by step, so it becomes second nature instead of something you have to remember in the heat of the moment. Links in the show notes. And most important, remember, you are
Whatever your goal, trade show giveaways, client gifts, or team gear, 4imprint has the promo products to match. With thousands of options, from apparel and drinkware to tech and totes, it's easy to find the right fit for your brand and budget with standout choices at every price point. And with their 360-degree guarantee, you can be 4imprint certain your order will show up just right on time. Explore more at 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain.
extraordinary.